Hello, I'm Becky, and today's practice is yoga for strong, toned legs. So for today's practice, I recommend you have two yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you could just be high up on your fingertips, but they just kind of help make the moves a little bit easier. So if you're ready to work on some strong, toned legs, let's get started. We're going to start on hands and knees in table pose. So grab a little extra padding for your knees too for this one, especially if your floor is really hard. If you're on a softer carpet, you won't need that, but I'm going to put a little blanket here under my knees. We're going to start in table pose, hands and knees, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You want your index fingers parallel with each other and index fingers pointing straight ahead. So we're going to work in a lot of threes today. So let's take three nice slow cat breaths. We're going to exhale and round the spine, tuck the chin, pull the belly button up. Inhale, nice and slow, tilt the hips, arch the back, stretch the belly, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, we'll round the spine, pull the belly button up. Inhale, we'll arch the spine, slide the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's take one more. Exhale and round up. And inhale and arch. Good. Come to neutral. We're going to drop down to our elbows. Wrap your hands, your fingers around the elbows. And we want to make sure that our shoulders are right over the elbows. Plant your elbows there. Don't let them move. Don't let them get wider. Bring the hands forward. You can interlace the fingers. Palms can be down on the floor. Hands can be in prayer pose, whatever feels good to your wrists and hands. We'll take 3 cat breaths from here. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale and arch. Exhale and round, pull the belly button up. Inhale and arch. We're going to take one more. Exhale, round up. Nice rounded spine. Inhale and arch. Come to a neutral spine. We're going to stretch the right leg back behind you. Right toes are on the floor, curled under. And just stretching, keep the shoulders right over the elbows, but push the right heel back behind you so your right leg gets nice and long and strong, all the way from the hip down through the heel. The neck is neutral, so you're looking down between the forearms. And we're going to lift and lower the right leg 3 times. Keep the right leg straight. We're going to inhale and lift the right leg however high is comfortable. Exhale, tap the right toes down. Inhale and lift the right leg. Exhale, tap the toes down. One more. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower it. Bend the right knee. Place it next to the left. And we'll stretch the left leg out on the mat. Keep the shoulders right over the elbows. And you're going to curl the left toes under and push the left heel away from you. Left leg gets long and strong. All the way from the left hip down through the bottom of the foot. Now keep your left leg straight. We're going to inhale, lift the left leg however high is comfortable. Exhale and tap the left toes down. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Keep your belly button pulling in and up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then we're going to bend that left knee, bring it next to the right, and just shift the hips a little side to side. And then move your way all the way back into child's pose. Big toes barely touching, knees separate apart a little bit. Let your forehead rest on stacked hands or the mat or a yoga block, and just wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. So stretching out the low back, but also stretching out the hips and stretching out the glutes a bit. Bring everything to center. I'm going to go into a downward dog. Stretch the hands as far forward as they'll go. Elbows are up off the mat. Come up into your hands and knees. Walk the knees just a little closer together if they were wide for child's pose. Take a look at the index fingers. They should be parallel with each other. Curl the toes under. Inhale. With your exhale, lift up, shift back, downward dog. Spread your toes out on the mat. Now tuck the chin so that the top of the head's pointing towards the floor, back of the neck is long. We'll walk it out. Let's lower one heel, the other heel. Just walking out, stretching the arches of the foot, the calves, the hamstrings. Keep your belly pulling in and up to support your spine.
Shoulders moving away from the ears so your neck is long. Good. Bring the heels level with each other and then come down to knees. Shift back into child's pose, just a couple of breaths, and maybe take a few wrist circles or wiggle the fingers, maybe even wobbling hips and shoulders a little side to side. Good. And now we're going to make our way back up to hands and knees. This is where your yoga blocks are going to come in handy. So grab your yoga blocks. We're going to put them at the front of the mat in the medium height. We're going to use them for a lunge. We're going to take the right foot forward between the blocks. We want our right knee to stack over our right heel. We're going to pick up the left knee and scoot it as far back behind the left hip as it will go. Just a couple breaths here into the front of this left hip and thigh. Now we're going to inhale, and with our exhale, we're going to lean back and we're going to bow down towards our right knee. So your spine is rounded, your chin is tucked. Just breathe into the back of the right leg. And now lift your head slightly. Keep your right heel on the floor and lift your right toes up and then move them towards the mat. Lift the right toes up, move them towards the mat. We can feel that in the back of the right leg. Lift the right toes up and put them towards the back of the mat. Now we're going to go forward and back with breath. So inhale, come forward, chin lifts. Here we want to check to make sure that that right knee stayed over the right heel. Exhale, lean back, round the spine, tuck the chin. So here you can either lift the toes up or keep them down on the mat, whatever gives you the best stretch. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round back. We'll do a total of 3 of these. Inhale, come forward, lift the chin, long spine. Exhale and round back. All right, now so inhale, we're going to come forward. Now we're going to leave the right knee over the right heel. We're going to curl the left toes under, lift the left knee up. So we're in a nice lunge. Now, a lot of times our arms help us more than we realize in a lunge. So press your front foot, your right foot firmly into the floor. Make that right leg strong. Left heel pushes back. Scoop your belly in and up, nice tight core, and just lift the hands, let them hover above the block. And notice how much more you're using your legs. Now go ahead and bring the hands back down on the block. Keep the left knee up. Inhale, with your exhale, we're going to lean back and bow towards the right knee. Your back heel is up off the ground. Inhale, coming forward, so the right knee over right heel. We'll do 2 more of those. Exhale and lean back, bow your head. Inhale, coming forward. 1 more. Exhale, shift the weight back, bow the head, tuck the chin. Inhale, come forward. Now we're going to leave that right heel over the right ankle. Keep it pretty stacked and just think about lowering the left knee. Let the left knee tap down and we'll lift the left knee up. Lower the left knee down, lift it up. We'll take 1 more of those. Lower the left knee down, lift it up. Good. Now this time lower the left knee all the way down, uncurl the toes, bring the right knee back by the left. Shift the hips a little side to side. Kind of loosening up the hips after those lunge variations. Bring the hips to center, and then we're going to bring the left foot forward between the blocks. Left knee stacks over the left heel. We want to scoot our right knee back as far back as it will go. And just a couple breaths here. Breathe into that right hip and thigh. Good. Now inhale. With your exhale, we're going to lean back and bow over the left knee. Couple breaths here. Tuck the chin. Now lift your head slightly, look at the toes. We're going to pull the toes back, keep the left heel on the ground, and then move the toes towards the floor. Pull the toes back towards you, move them towards the floor. 1 more time, pull the toes back, move them towards the floor. Good. Now we're going to go forward and back with breath. So inhale, come forward, chin lifts, spine is long. Exhale, we're going to lean back. Now here you can lift the toes or leave them down. 2 more of these. Inhale, come forward, long spine, long neck. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. 1 more. Inhale, come forward, long spine. Exhale, shift back, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Good. Now this time come forward. We're going to keep the left knee over the left heel. Curl the right toes under. We're going to lift the right knee up.
Push that right heel back behind you. Let's see if we're using the arms a lot. We usually are. So press the left foot down into the floor. Push the right heel back behind you. Both legs really strong. Pull your belly in and up and let the hands hover above the blocks. Feel the leg muscles engage a lot more there. Now bring the hands back down to the block. Keep the right knee up. Inhale with your exhale, lean back.
Bow towards your left knee.
Inhale, lift the chin, and the left knee goes over left heel. Two more of those. Exhale, shift back, bow the head. Inhale, bring the left knee back over the left heel, and we'll take one more of those. Exhale, shift back, and inhale, come forward. We want that left knee over the left heel. Keep it there. The left knee is not going to move much, but just lower the right knee. Tap it down. Lift it back up. We'll do that two more times. Lower it down. Lift it back up. One more time. Lower it down. Lift it back up. And this time we'll lower it all the way down. Keep it down. Bring the left knee back by the right. We'll shift the hips a little side to side on the mat. And then walk those blocks all the way back. Set the blocks aside. We're going to go into child's pose for just a couple of breaths. Breathe into the shoulders, breathe into the upper back. Let's wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side to stretch out the glutes, stretch out the hips. Bring everything to center. We'll take one downward dog here. Move the hands as far forward as they'll go, elbows up off the mat. Come up onto hands and knees. Knees move a little closer together. Index fingers parallel. Curl your toes under. Inhale with your exhale, lift up, shift back. Tuck the chin, spread the toes out on the mat. Let's walk it out a little bit, but we're going to walk both feet evenly. So lift both heels, lower the heels. Lift the heels, lower the heels. The legs stay pretty straight here. Lifting, lowering the heels. Belly pulls in and up. Top of the head points towards the floor. So we don't want the top of the head pointing towards the hands. We want it kind of pointing straight down, a little tuck of the chin. Good. Now bring the heels to a neutral, come down to knees, shift back into child's pose, and just wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. Stretch out the whole back, upper back, mid back, low back. Come up to sitting. We're going to come all the way down onto our back. So swing the feet around. If you had that padding under the knees, you can scoot it off to the side. We're going to come all the way down onto our back. So center yourself on the mat. Once you're down on your back, hug the knees into the chest, and we'll just roll side to side a few times. So kind of ironing out that whole back, upper back, mid back, low back. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals, use your core. Don't let your waistline lift. We're going to bring our feet down to the mat. They can come down one at a time if you need. We're going to go into a bridge pose. So the knees are bent, the knees are stacked over the heels, feet are hip width apart. We'll have arms at our side, palms are up. I like the palms up because that allows the front of the shoulders and the chest to open up. We're going to lift our hips with breath. Inhale first. Exhale, press your waistline down into the mat. Inhale, lift, lead with the hips and lift up just about 2 or 3 inches. It's not a super high bridge. So keep kind of a low bridge here. And we're going to lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So you're almost hollowing out the belly here. Keep that curling up of the tailbone up towards the ceiling. The weight's even on both feet. So it's a low bridge. But as we lift the tailbone, really lift that tailbone up towards the ceiling, you can feel the thighs engage. The thighs will light up differently when you curl that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Keep that low bridge and move the knees apart and then together, apart and then together. So just kind of in and out, moving the legs. Nice and slow, not too fast, in and out. Keep that low bridge, but keep that curling up of the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Moving in and out of the legs. So working glutes, thighs, hamstrings. Bring the knees to parallel. Inhale with your exhale, lengthen the spine, lower the hips all the way down. Once the hips are down, Hug the knees into the chest, and we'll roll side to side. Roll it out. Bring everything to center. Use your abs. Don't let your back arch. We're going to bring our feet down to the floor. One at a time, stretch your legs out. So we let the front of the hips open, back of the knees open. Let the legs relax. Arms at your side, palms up. Couple breaths here, letting that blood flow move back down from the hips all the way down to the feet. Stretch both arms up overhead. Spread the fingers. Flex the feet. Reach one side longer and then the other side longer. A little side to side stretch. See if one side feels a little different than the other. We want our hips and shoulders to shift on the mat. The arms and legs shift on the mat. The head will probably roll a little side to side as you just stretch one side longer and then the other side longer. Bring arms and legs to center. Arms come down by your side. One at a time, bend the knees. Roll over onto your side. Use your arms to help you all the way up to sitting. Sit tall. I like to sit on a yoga block, but you sit however is comfortable for your legs and your lower body. Tailbone moves back slightly, heart lifts slightly, belly pulls in and up, and then we'll just feel that breath into the low belly. Feel grounded down through the seat, tall up through the spine. We'll bring our palms together, and this ends our session. Namaste. So try this little practice for strong, toned legs. It's nice and short. You can do it every day if you like. It's not anything that's going to overwork the legs, just a nice stretch and tone for the legs. If you'd like it, share it with someone you think might benefit from it. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.